picture altogether. Clockwork still stands strong, and when you're putting priority and banning out stuff like your Coddle and your Dazzle to make sure you get rid of those defensive, supports, it leaves something precious like the Mike Clockwork to be out there. And it was Mike Clockwork who did that number on TC in the Roche pit, so
yeah,
we'll see if it's something, again, that could come back to bite Root on the ass. But they feel confident. They get that Earthshaker grab. I was maybe, seeing if they were going to consider something like a Spirit Breaker a bit, but that might be too much in the Bruiser department along with Tusk. But I like the Earthshaker. Helps significant. Being able to catch out a Queen of Pain who's looking to kind of move on forward, and certainly helps with all the illusions. And to help on top of that, Root Gaming going for the Gyrocopter grab now. Flat Can can certainly help out, but I don't know. I feel like I've always said this, Gyrocopter, good response to the PL, but the Gyrocopter always ends up still running into some trouble dealing with them.
Right, because, Gyrocopter is so good early game, but, that mid-game, PL starts getting his illusions up, maybe gets some decent items, and then the Gyrocopter is sitting back, and he's like, well, I don't have my MKB yet, I don't have that right-click damage yet. It always feels like that Gyrocopter is a step behind the PL in terms of farm, and that's why he just doesn't do that much damage. Not to mention Flat Cannon, there's only a certain number of shots you can actually get off with that particular ability, so... obviously, Call Down, Flat Cannon, and Rocket Barrage, very good for that hero. But it's all about how you perform in the early game, I think. That's definitely the most important thing, because that's what the hero's picked for, right? You don't pick that hero because he's a late-game monster. You pick somebody like Anti-Mage or even PL for that particular reason. You pick Gyrocopter because you hit level 6 and you're like, I want to kill somebody, I'm going to rotate somewhere, and you kind of just keep your lineup together with that idea in hand. So it comes down to how Gyrocopter performs in lane number 1 and rotating early. Clockwork is going to have a tough time for sure, and maybe getting one more hero to make this early game even more effective for Root Gaming. I think that's something they could definitely go for.
What that hero might be and where, in particular, this Earthshaker and Zeus is going is still a question to be answered here. Root Gaming do have a bit of versatility. Love the Rubik Band. It was something I was thinking about. It is very good to have against the Clockwork, but could also suit very nicely on the side of SumsRift. A lot of fruitful options, of course, Fissure being one of the best ones out there, but Snowball on top of that. Plus, you have your Null Field passive, which could be very nice against all this intense magic damage that Root Gaming are already dishing forward. I don't know if it's so appealing to the point where maybe a Huskar could still be an option, but I think that Champions of SumsRift already have all their cores established, and they're just looking for a secondary backstaff support here. Probably their Whitebeard grab. Whitebeard known to pick up, even micro-intensive heroes if he wants to consider going Chen. Visage has been another option.
Could go Disruptor again, why not?
Wyvern has been banned out. Disruptor has been banned out as well, though, right there at the very end. But there are limited options. Omni Knight, if they want to kind of take it up themselves, could be a grab.
And that does, again, it's the issue of not having lockdown. They have some pretty good lockdown with the Clockwork, but I think something with a reliable, at least slow silence or disable. Lion's good, but we don't see him too often anymore. I'm not really sure why. I think Lion's a good choice. They could go for, I don't think a greedier option is actually the right choice because they already have the bounty character for Demon. There's no Earthshaker, obviously. It's on the other side. Lion is probably, that or Witch Doctor, I think, is probably the best bet.
Witch Doctor is a good one.
Dazzle's already been banned out, which is something they've run a lot. Both teams, in fact, have run Dazzle a lot.
Shadow Demon is also something that's been pulled out.
Yeah. I'm fine with any of those, to be honest. Just something with at least some sort of reliable disable would be nice. Whether
if we name more, we have a better chance of being correct.
That's true. Let's just go through all of them.
Sand King.
Lena. Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden, yeah, exactly. Maybe a casual Night Stalker to throw in there.
We're going through all of it. Ogre Magi, which has not been picked in years, it seems like.
Jakiro, also. The forehead strat, that's out the window.
Support Legion Commander. I don't know, man. They got 15 seconds of reserve time. Yeah, all right,
Doctor. We said that one.
We're
geniuses.
Yeah, we're smart. We know what we're talking about.
All right, so they took a lot of the clock to think about that one, but it is a Whitebeard favorite. He has fallen back on the Witch Doctor from time to time. Certainly helps here. They get their extra bit of sustain and somewhat reliable stunt power. And when they need the babysitter because you're anticipating this bounty runner is going to roam about, you just need someone to kind of plant side in the lane and be there as assistance to probably the PL. Now we look over back on the Root Gaming side. This will help identify exactly what potential lane setup we could see here if they want to utilize a bit more of the global potential with your Zeus. They want to go for the Skywrath Mage here. Oh, they're doing it. They've done this before, and I actually applauded Fluff for it. And he didn't even realize how powerful it was at the time, but the Tusk Skywrath Mage combo, you get your Tusk of Blink Dagger, he hops in, Walrus Punch, you instant Mystic Flare, and they're dead.
It's funny
That's
how
it.
much we talk about like these combos with Tusk, and then we realize Tusk actually just might be a good hero. Like that's why these
Pretty
combos
much
are
a
good.
good hero, yeah. You know.
It's just-
First pick, first ban. I anticipate it's going to be that way all the way to TI5. The hero he literally just packs a punch. He offers a little bit of
because
everything.
if they were gonna patch, right, they would patch already. I'm almost positive there's not going to be a patch before we see TI5 come, which is really interesting. I guess they're happy with where we're at right now, man. I think that's it.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. You know, give or take that some teams with their secret strats they could always pull out. Something they've been grinding through in their scrims, but we'll have to see if that's going to be the case or not. Let's get into it, folks. This is game number 3 in a series that is now tied up 1-1. Root Gaming going toe-to-toe with SumsRift. Root Gaming have taken game number 1. A very strong sieging lineup. SumsRift holds strong in game 2 against what looked like another strong push and strong defense, but you war with that AM just going out of control. So leading out introductions right inside their roster list entails a Moo in your bottom lane here. Looks like a solo safe setup for your Tusk and possible aggro to come out. You have Monkey's Forever going to be playing your Gyrocopter. Fun, the Indigo Child, he's going to be playing your Skywrath Mage. TC, your Torrid Chieftain's going to be playing Zeus. And that is going to leave Brian of Brian Gaming, a.k.a. Fluff and Stuff. He is going to be playing your Earthshaker.
Mike's already doing the dance. No. I'm not sure if that's what... I'm pretty sure he walked up to this tower, this tier 1, in range. He was definitely in range, and he started doing the robot.
I couldn't hear it over the freaking coin jump that TC's been doing over here.
Yeah, there's some annoying cosmetics happening currently. So on the side of SumsRift, I would argue that they were the favorites of this series. I'm not sure if that's what everyone else thought, but that's what I'm thinking.
On paper it was, Mod. I believe coming into the series, I want to say 60 to 65% odds favorite for
so not by much.
SumsRift. Not by much. I would, again, almost put the series at a 50-50 split.
Yeah, again, I would do the same. But for SumsRift, up towards that top rune spot, they will look on helplessly as Brax will grab the bounty rune for himself, or rather, not Brax, Zeus will grab the bounty rune for himself. Demo will be on the bounty hunter. He's going to be doing his shenanigans as we saw in that first game. Up towards that top lane is going to be Whitebeard playing the Witch Doctor. He has the amazing cosmetic, and that is, of course, inscribed Bonkers the Mad. I'm a huge fan of this. Yuar is going to be playing the Phantom Lancer with a long beard that he's got going on in the top lane. Mid lane is going to be Brax playing the Queen of Pain up against TC Zeus. And then down bottom will be IXMike88 getting the creep deposit early on here on the Clockwork in a solo versus solo situation. So aggressive dual lanes coming out from the side of Root. We'll see how much they can get done here. You might be in some trouble early on in this game.
A little bit of trade happening from both sides. Whitebeard happy to dish off the early coconut here to kind of keep him back. Demon on his own expedition on the Bounty Hunter. Again, going with the reliable Orb of Venom plus some sentries. Eyeballing maybe a courier movement, but Fluff already onto it here. He's done. He's checked the tapes. He's done his research. He will act as the courier just to make safe departure here. I give my bottle and I hand it over to TC just to make sure it arrives at his destination and they don't hand over that extra pocket change to SumsRift.
Now, looks like we will have that rotation eventually from Fluff to get to that aggressive tri-lane situation. On the other side of things, Demon is rotating. He's putting an aggressive ward in the jungle, but, I mean, they're going to notice this is a tri-lane, so his vision might be for naught. And he's just going to rotate towards mid. And this is actually pretty easy. TC is a very gankable target, especially with like level 2.
Very far forward, and Brax is already ready behind him, so TC knows what's up. And what a heads-up play from TC. He heads straight north here, but he's still in a bit of trouble.
Demon will
get some good damage. Yeah, he's going to eat a lot of damage and have to use his last share Tango, and he has no bottle to fall back on.
Oh, they're going in.
Yo, Brax is going in. Nicely done. He's dead. That's first blood, and it's going to go to Demon.
This is a far cry from what we saw. Brax is dead! Oh my god, the Salve! Oh, the Salve keeps him alive. He walked straight through that tower's range. I am not sure what the plan was there. Gave us all a freaking heart attack. Brax, Jesus, man. Oh my god.
Getting everyone on the edge of the seats, especially the people who put a lot in on SumsRift group, but it is them who are going to be able to walk away with that first blood bounty, and of all the people it goes to Demon, that secures if he wants his boots. Hell, he could save and go straight for, like, you know, the mana booster if he really wants to.
He's the bottle back home. Wow.
What a guy.
Right. Yeah, that's, I guess that's the fastest way. The courier is going to slow you down, so easiest way. I mean, he might actually just TP back home. He has his boots already with his first blood. He can buy a TP scroll, TP back mid.
Yep.
Give Brax the bottle. You know, it's already such a great start for him. And
now, what does this leave for a bottom lane, though? Because we have Mike and Moo both in a solo lane matchup where they're both getting a good amount out of it. A little bit more from Moo, getting 10-3 to Mike 7-0, but they're both getting good levels. Mike level 3, almost level 4. Moo already at that level 4 mark. These offlaners are going to be ready to play in this game a little bit earlier than usual.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting some CS between the two of them, and it's not any real surprise that Moo's getting the advantage to Tusk, to be honest. Blair is good for spammability, but Ice Shards, it's almost second to none in terms of getting CS, in terms of harassing, and obviously repositioning and making sure that the opponent is just really uncomfortable. Mike's going to cog up Moo. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but he's going to try to go for at least some damage here. The trade's coming through. Moo will back away. Or prevent him from Moo, by the way, which is something important to note. Top lane, Whitebeard took a lot of damage. The cast came through, I think, to save his own life. Yuar is sitting at 7 CS, and Monkey's Forever is at 15. So they have the advantage of this top lane, and that's really the most important thing. In fact, they're winning 2 out of the 3 lanes right now for the side of Root.
It's going very well. They're keeping the pressure on. That's certainly a testament to the Skywrath Mage, one of the most annoying supports at the lane against when he's zoning you back with some serious arcane bolts. Looks like he's out of the mana regen right now. Fluff still holds a clarity just in case. But they're keeping Yuar on his toes and away from the creeps, which is what's important. Bottom lane, snowball on Mood, Demon, and Mike, seeing if they can get the finish on him. He rolls forward. Battery Salt's there, and it's an easy cleanup kill. Mike with that haste rune makes it a lot easier. Champions of SumsRift now move up 2-0.
I mean, this is the trade-off that they're getting. What is Bounty Hunter going to do in this top lane? The answer is just really nothing. I mean, he's really about the element of surprise. Him sitting in lane is not going to provide much. So until he rotates up there to try to grab a kill when he feels comfortable, that's the trade-off. They're going to get a kill bottom, they're going to get a kill mid, that's fine, but they're going to lose out on farm for Yuar. And Yuar knows this, and he can't get too upset about what's happening. He just has to roll with the punches for the time being. This also means that the experience is being split pretty heavily between Root's lineup. You're not getting that quick level 6 that you usually see on a Gyrocopter if he's in the safe lane. He's not getting towards that call down very early into the game, which is why Yuar actually has an experience advantage. They're going to continue to put pressure on this top lane, but Gas is going to go. There's the Ancient Shield. Whitebeard Fisher will catch him out. The Arcane Bolt and one more right click or a Rocket Barrage will do the job. Good Spirit Lance, and Whitebeard actually might live. Arcane Bolt won't bring him down. Yes, it will. Just barely. No. That freaking Voodoo Restoration keeps him up to about 30 HP as that last Arcane Bolt comes through. And here's Demon wrapping on the backside, trying to go for a kill.
Monkeys is low here. He scouts him, gets a good strike. Follow up, nice, avoids the rocket barrage, then comes back in sight. Good fissure block from Fluff, though, and Demon's in trouble. Cannot go back in Viz, they're not going to pursue, help is already shown up. And Fun needs to find a way out from the crevice. Will. Oh, both sides really trading here. No death yet, though.
Monkeys Forever lived with about 10 HP. That would have been an absolutely outstanding kill. Demon has to go home empty-handed. But he's doing a great job. He's not sitting at that level 2 mark, which we saw in the first game. Brax will grab the Bounty Rune as he gets fissured, pop it off, and then blink towards safety. He was getting in some trouble. So, okay, I feel alright for SumsRift because they have that track gold, and Demon isn't as far behind as he was in that first game. If they could find maybe another kill on TC or Moo, get up towards another bit of a level here for Demon, I think they're going to be in an okay spot.
Oh, yeah. That track will kind of give the recovery that Yuar needed from the somewhat crippling early lane stage here. Mid lane, though, they're going on TC. TC's in trouble. TC goes down. Another assisted setup from Demon. Wonderfully done. Brax is going to get the finishing connection, and now it's 3-0. Champions of SumsRift. Wonderful early laning start here for them, even though Root technically getting more out of this laning stage. It just seems to be coming up for SumsRift on these pickoffs. A lot of credit to Demon on rotating around and finding these setups. Mike gets that convenient haste rune and gets his own little setup. Everything is just kind of falling into place as of now for SumsRift.
There's going to be a point in this game where Brax is going to rotate up top. Mike might even TP up there as well. If this tri lane's still going on, Root might not be ready for it. Demon will start things off by TPing up there. They do have some really good vision, though, on the side of Root. They're going to notice Demon walking in if he does go out of his invis, which he currently still is there. They're going to throw a sentry ward down in lane, so Demon will have to be careful. He should know that there is going to be a sentry close to this group of people. If he walks up, I would be very surprised.
He's just very close. They're going to go right to him. He goes right on Monkeys. Oh, there's Brax, as predicted, Mott. He shows up. and he does work. They get a beautiful sonic wave and clean up one. They get the next. Moo shows up, gets the quick kill on the demon, and a follow-up kill with the shards. Moo setting the record straight, gets his own double kill.
Mike wants a hook shot. Mike wants a hook shot. He's trying to find the angle for it. Will he dive for this?
Ooh, moves into fun, gets the catch. Can he get the kill and get out alive, though?
Lightning
Looks like
bolt
he
is up in
might.
2.
Oh, he's trying. Nope. TC's going to grab that one. Almost a triple kill for Moo. Back and forth we go.
Yeah.
3 kills apiece.
Yeah. Who comes out on top there? I think because they killed the gyrocopter on Summer's Rift side, and they only lose 2 supports and the Clockwork. I think that's definitely in favor of the Summer's Rift squad. Uar stays alive during that entire segment. If Bounty Hunter stayed alive, it would be even better. You would get that experience, get up to level 6, but that's just not the case. Still, they did a pretty good job. Brax lived through the entirety of that fight, and that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. It was kind of an arms race that escalated to Moo TPing in and then Mike TPing in. Mike goes a little bit too far under the tower. He pays for it. Now they're going to break up this aggressive tri-lane. Monkey's Forever's going to sit bottom, and this is actually going to make him feel a bit more uncomfortable than when he was top.
Brax does not have his sonic wave. Still needs another minute here, but they're hoping Monkeys moves forward. Oh, he taunts, but you might not be taunting now, boy. He's going to go down. Yep.
Shadow
Strike can finish him off. Mike almost gets the KS with the rocket, but it's unnecessary.
Ooh,
nice and easy kill.
Brax getting the orc this game, and I'm a fan. Nothing's going to chew through that Zeus quicker. Top lane Uar and Whitebeard. They missed the ice shards. The snowball's still going through, though, on Whitebeard. That's not the hero they want, but it's the hero they're going to find. And the lightning bolt will secure it for TC. They even have Thunder God's Wrath at the ready. Mike is ready to go with a hook shot. He has that flare. He's going to go for it.
Got it. On to Moo. Gonna trap him in place. Uar's there. Throws out the Spirit Lance. Fluff has the fissure. Is gonna dish it off. TC with his own Thunder God's Wrath. Mike's in trouble. Mike is gonna go down.
He's trying to do too much. He's trying to be too aggressive here, and Root Gaming are responding in kind by being in really good positions with TPs at the ready, close to that tier 1 tower, and with really good vision for Root Gaming, they are able to turn this without any real problem whatsoever. If that Observer Ward's there, they might not try to save Moo, but because they have some really good vision for Root, they say, okay, we can turn around, we can fight this, Ice Shards are back up, Thunder God's Wrath is up, and we'll find an easy kill. And Summer's Rift throw another life away. However, Summer's Rift are still in a really good spot because, well, this is happening. Fun almost going down, but a good Ancient Seal coming through at the right time. Brax is snowballing out of control. If he had gotten that kill, he gets even closer to that second Oblivion Staff, and the Orc and Malevolence does get finished off. And he is a big factor for Summer's Rift. He will make all the space necessary for you all to get back in this game. We talk about the track, and that's the two-pronged attack. It's the track coming out from Demon and then the Sonic Wave or whatever Brax can do with this Queen of Pain.
Interesting build-up, though, for Demon on this Bounty Hunter, I have to say. He went with the Tranquils. Gives him more move speed, good armor. Would fear for the lack of mana and intel to dish out continuous tracks and shuriken tosses.
Ooh, they know Demon's there. They saw him use his Shadow Walk. So Monkey's River heads to the tree line.
He's waiting behind the tower here.
And now Summer's Rift know there's a ward there because that range creep was pulled. So that was there's a lot of information going from both sides.
Yeah.
But while that's happening, you mentioned the tier 1 tower top lane is taken down, and I mean it's a cool play that happened down bottom, but the actual remains of a tower is sitting up in that top tier 1. So
back at mid, you see Fun. Love to get his level 6 and get that Mystic Flare ready. How's Moo looking? He's trying to get that Blink Dagger. Oh, Mike moves in, gets a good catch on the Fun. I thought he was going to make it out, but Mike says no. Wonderful setup and the kill. Brax gets that one. They're on the run. Can they make it away? Monkey's Forever, nice call down. Brax gets the blink. They need to stop the missile. It's coming. And it's going to kill him. Not before the Ice Shard's wonderfully done for Moo. Now they're looking to go into Demon. Roll through and an uppercut. They got it. Killing spree for both Moo and TC at the end of that one. Make it a 2-for-1 trade all day. And now they're going to add pressure onto this tier 1 tower.
You have to now decide whether the space that was created up top lane for the Phantom Lancer is worth that trade mid. With a track kill for 2 on the side of Root Gaming. I mean, Witch Doctor is also getting farm bottom. He desperately needs stuff, and he's getting some pressure on that tier 1 tower. But Root's still getting 2 big kills, and one in particular on Brax, who is the biggest hero in this game by far. Root Gaming, I mean, they have a clear advantage in net worth, with the exception of obviously Brax, who's leading the way, but not by much. And if they can continue to put pressure in your war, it's not going to matter. And Moo now has a Blink Dagger as well. That's huge.
This is their chance to pull off that cheesy combo, but they still need fun to level up. He's bottom lane, trying to get some shared XP, but he's also playing very passive. Him and Monkeys, they know trouble's nearby. They got the obs down. They see Brax kind of stalking him a bit.
They weren't paying that much attention to that range creep being pulled. They don't know the Subserver Ward is actually here.
Look at the smoke movement coming out from Fluff and Moo, though. Maybe trying to get a flank movement onto Brax.
Smoke on top of this? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they smoke behind the tree line, meaning that they are safe.
Well, they're going to go in, Whitebeard. Well, they thought about it. Cast goes out. Fluff lines up. They get the silence. They can. That's the end of Brax here.
Huge
Dominating
kill.
from Moo. Big pick. Well, that's secure level 6. Not quite yet for Skywrath Mage. And Whitebeard's going to be able to make it out. Good movement from Root. They have good vision there. And because of they get to wait, they plot out their own move in, and they get a kill.
Again, if it's any other hero, I'm probably okay with that because Yoar is farming well, but because it's Brax going down, it's not worth it. It's not worth the amount of space that he's getting top lane. Yes, he's at treads. He still has a ways to go. You look at the net worth chart, he's right in the middle, man. He's smack dab there, and he's just not got much. And he almost dies. They have Thunder Gods. They don't. If they would kill him. That would be a dead Yoar. He does bottle up, though, and he will survive for the time being.
He shows himself again. Moo's going to be ready, though, with that Blink Dagger. Mike is nearby. And now Moo going to cross paths, going to quickly grab the bounty in front of Yawar. Who's going to get the quick lance off, so there's not going to be a blink to chase. Just kind of eyeballing each other up. This game back even now, Mott. 8-8. You look at the net worth, a slight favorite for Root. XP about down the middle. Things could change if SumsRift can get some picks with this track gold. Could be that big boost, but proving to be a bit difficult. But
it almost
lay down a nice ward.
Feels like Brax is the linchpin for SumsRift. He's keeping this game together. Because you're just not ready on your water fight. I mean, there's a bounty hunter. He's good with shuriken toss, but that's it. Blockwork is good for single initiation. Witch Doctor has yet to hit a really good death ward. So it just feels like the amount of team fight that Root have is just a bit better currently than SumsRift, because you are just not going to want to fight ever until he gets some more levels.
We're going to see the combo here, bottom lane, Mott. Move finds an opening. He's going to blink. Walrus punch. There's going to be Mystic Flare, and Whitebeard is going to be dead.
He should be dead.
He got pretty far forward there. Maybe they worried about the coconut or something. They're waiting.
They were worried about reactions, I think. I think he knows that he dodged a bullet. Or
I think he did. He threw it out there, and then he got out fast.
I'm pretty sure he's got a good idea.
But he better get the hell back. Anything that Moo gets a hold of with fun nearby is as good as dead. And look at this opportunity. He's going to go right to the high ground. And he's going to plant obs right into a sentry.
Oh, no.
They see it. That's a free 50 pence if they want it.
Yeah, that's not
but
great.
It looks like nothing's going to happen.
Well, Arc Lightning's going to go here, and it's going to clear up this group wave. TC will try to push. He's got a point boost, interestingly enough, which could be the beginning of a Bloodstone more than likely. That's what we see, I think, a lot out of a lot of Zeuses. So he'll also grab a haste room, which is nice. You are still getting a lot of room to work with. He's up to 500 gold now. Has nothing on the courier, by the way. So he's really just trying to finish up his first, starting items, treads, Aquila, bottle, and then get to that next big item, whether that's a Diffusal or a Yasha. I think if he wanted Yasha, he probably would have just went straight Boots of Speed into, Yasha into, Boots of Travel. He might actually want to fight early on here. He might want to get this Diffusal Blade. He might want to grab that early item, but I'm not sure if that's actually the case.
Tier 1 will go down bottom. Root are going to easily be able to pick up that one. And it looks like TC will be able to buy his Bloodstone recipe here. I don't know if it's complete altogether or not. I don't see all the components there, but he gets the recipe, at least for now. Heads right back in towards Demon. Bobs him a couple of times. Has Thunder God's Wrath. If he gets another combo like that, could get a kill. But he ends up getting tracked up. And Demon's going to go on pursuit here. TC's probably going to throw a casual Lightning Bolt, I'd imagine. Must think he's being stalked. He's going to keep running and get under the tower.
Yeah, he was looking for it there for a second.
Gets hit. Okay, hit. Shuriken. Thunder God's Wrath. It's too late. Brax is already caught up. Gets him with the Sonic Wave, and it's over for TC.
There was a TP coming in as well, but it was canceled. I'm not sure who it was from. Let's see. Was it Moo? No, that's not it. Was it? It was Fluff who was trying to come in with a blink, or rather a TP. They just couldn't get there in time. Either Fluff or Fun. But a kill's a kill, and that's a track kill too coming out. So really good stalking coming out from the Bounty Hunter. He's going mech, the classic mech build, but no Guardian Greaves as he has Tranquil Boots. There's that Orca that's done at 1740. Could have been done earlier for Brax, but he died a couple of times in the mid game. But he's still far and ahead in terms of the net worth right now. Ancient Seal on Mike, he's got a Blade Mail. He'll be alright.
He's not the target you want to catch with that Mystic Flare combo. Not with that thing.
Not unless you like Suicide. Mutually sure destruction at the very least.
Brax hit with some good damage here. Unfortunately, TC does not have Thunder God's Wrath. Expending it earlier in the bottom lane. Had he had it there, things could have been a bit different, but Brax is going to be able to make it away. So some footsie play coming out from both sides. Still waiting for the raw action to really break out here as everyone's starting to itemize a bit further. Demon, the very supportive Bounty Hunter build up here, goes with the mech.
I am very surprised Monkeys Forever is not like saying, hey, let's push, let's fight. I have drums, I even have a Helmet of the Dominator. I have Call Down, which is level 2 now. Let's just go and run at them. I'm kind of surprised that's not the case.
What a catch from Mike. Yep, he moves in after the rocket. There's going to be immediate snowball here. Demon's going to wait to pop him, but nice blink.
That was sick.
Moot's already on the way out. The utility, once you get that Blink Dagger on a Tusk, man, he can survive. He makes it away.
That snowball change where you're snowballed until you actually hit the button is pretty huge. And, I mean, it's just, that's a huge catch from Mike, and they don't get a kill out of that somehow. Just shows how good Moo's been playing, how good that hero is in general. Down bottom, Brax will take down this tier 1 tower. There's a glyph, there's no TP rotations. It's going to be a free tier 1. They are going to get the TP in now, but it looks like the tower will be taken down. Brax is going to get fish it. If they can get the return kill on this, it might be worth it. Here comes TC. There's the Echo Slam coming through. The Sonic Wave not used up. He's still ancient sealed up. The Arcane Bolt won't bring him down, but now Fluff in trouble. There's the Thunder God's Wrath coming in. Demon getting low. The mech keeping him alive. But no, there's the Walrus Punch coming in from Moo. Great rotations. A triple kill for TC. What a turn coming out from Root Gaming. They'll trade that tier 1 for those 3 kills any day of the week.
They did have a lot more participate. You have Whitebeard and you are not looking to get involved. Whitebeard is able to secure. No, it got denied from Monkeys. Monkey takes that tower away. Whitebeard's able to make it out from trouble.
Huge deny. That shouldn't have happened.
No. But they get it. Also, worth a note, Mike sees the Mystic Flare, pops his Blade Mail to walk into it. Does help get the kill on the Skywrath Mage, but TC, meanwhile, was just in the back lines, dishing out so much damage. There was really no stopping him, and they end up losing so much more. This puts Root Gaming ahead now, I think for the first time this game, at 11-10.
Yeah.
Monkeys Forever looking to go down and possibly pick up a BKB next, has his Ogre Club.
God, these games have been so close. If you look at the net worth graph, there's not really been any big lead in this entire series other than like 3 or 4K at one particular time. And this answers the question that I was asking earlier, is what is PL going to go for? He goes for the early fight item and the Diffusal Blade. The problem with this is that Root are starting to get so many items. I mean, there's already a Blink on Tusk, and he, I think, just finished up a mech, and it's flying out to him as we speak. Bloodstone was just done for TC as well. So the damage is going to be minimal. Meanwhile, despite breaking out down bottom, Jungle Mystic Flare is going to go. Doesn't really connect. Mike walks into it with a Blade Mail. Fun gets blown up. Sonic Blade. Hook shot's going to miss. Here comes Monkeys Forever. Call down already used. Snowball blink in. Goes through Mike. He's stunned up. Cogs will go. Almost punch out of Brax. He does blink away. They do bring down Mike in the end. Tracks up onto Fluff and Monkeys Forever. Demon cutting the creep wave. He's nearby. They don't know where he is. It is going to turn into, I believe, a 1-for-1 in the end. Brax almost goes down to the homing missile. He's at 60 HP. He was able to survive through it. Closer than probably expected. Still an okay fight coming out from Root in the end.
These teams are relentless at going at each other a bit. Trying to get the most out of it, but also just as elusive here. Now, TC spots out Yawar. Top lane, Yawar going to be forced to doppelganger and back. Quickly goes to the bottle just in case. But TC does not have Thunder God's Wrath. 50 more seconds of it on cooldown here. 8 charges to his Bloodstone, the fresh Bloodstone here. And a staff. Already on hold here. Curious to see what he decides to go for thereafter.
Yules probably, I think, for the Zeus. Could go for a Force Staff because they are against the Clockwork. Actually might be a better option. But that or Yules, I think, is...
I mean, it doesn't look like Fun is going to be getting a Force Staff anytime soon. No. And I'm sure Fluff wants to go for a Blink first and foremost, then a Force thereafter. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think Force is probably the safest decision. I would like Yules personally. And Monkey's Forever doesn't give a damn about any of that. He's going to have a BKB on the gyrocopter. That's probably what they're waiting for. I talked about this earlier, and just kind of, we have a gyrocopter who's very farmed. He's level 2 ultimate, ready to go, and they weren't going for anything, really. Monkey's Forever is finally in a situation probably where he feels comfortable enough with his BKB.
Stun onto Mike. Not the best target to follow up with a Mystic Flare and some heavy burst when he's got that Blade Mail, so they're not going to fall through with anything else thereafter. Still will continue to add the pressure on this mid lane, and I agree with you, probably waiting out for Gyro to get that BKB. Though at the same moment on the other side, Brax is getting close to his own BKB, just missing that recipe, and he'll have it done. BKB, though, now complete for your Gyro. We look at Yawar. He has his Diffusal Blade. He's doing his own thing here at the bottom, so don't look for him to possibly engage, though he does have a TP and could get involved. I imagine where this fight breaks out, he's going to be a little too far from any sort of easy access to get in quickly.
Yeah. Yawar is just okay with farming for a long time in this situation, however. He's just going to sit in bottom. They don't really care what's happening as long as they're not losing too many heroes in the process, and that's actually just fine. And Courier! Oh!
Wata! Easy kill.
Easy kill for Demon.
Down. That Janata, man, just a one-hit KO in Couriers when you see it.
That's unfortunate. There's luckily nothing on it. Oh, Yawar.
They see Yawar coming, and they're ready for him. Beautifully done. He comes around the corner, there is a Enchant Totem waiting, a Silence, and a Mystic Flare. PL is out. Take my courier, I take your life.
I guess when you're playing down as a PL, you have to farm in situations that you feel safe. I'll hold that thought. Mike's going to jump on a TC. Battery cell's going through. He's going to Glimmer Cape and Blade Mail at the same time. Whitebeard just gets blown up by Moo. Jump in, Sonic Wave from Brax. The fight's now breaking out. They're switching spots here. Demon still getting run at by Moo on the other side of things. Gyrocopter coming in. Brax, homing missile. It's not going to connect, it looks like. Oh, no! Flop!
A bit too short. Now they might get Demon, though. In the meantime, Moo will grab him. Unfortunately, the Echo Slam will be expended and not be able to get the catch on Brax, but they still convincingly take that trade. They take out 3 all day, and now they come charging down this mid lane, going for tier 2.
One of those Echo Slams where the Earthshaker, after using the Echo Slams, his Echo Slam questions his usage of the ability. Feels like he lost. And that's unfortunate. Fluff is getting close to that Blink Dagger, so that won't happen again, probably.
Don't jinx him.
Yeah, I mean, assuming he doesn't die in the next, 5 seconds, he's going to clear out this freaking jungle camp, and he's going to have it pretty much. No courier, though.
TC has the Force Staff. As we already talked about before, good grab will help out against Mike on anyone he needs to catch Alf. And they need to also get some extra bits of farm on their supports, though. Particularly fun, man. Hard game for him. Looks like he's going to go and grab up a Glimmer, hopefully. He's got the cloak for now, but other than that, he's on the wards. Got the little trinkets and support doodads here and there, but no real meat for him, and he's still very frail. He gets on the back end of one bad Sonic Wave, and he's done. So he's got to be careful.
Scarith Mage.
Ooh, they're smoked. They get a fissure connection. Brax is dead. Brax is dead.
Guess they don't need the Ancient Seal. Alright. Death Ward's gonna go for Whitebeard. That's gonna get cancelled immediately by the Ancient Seal I was talking about. They have a Glimmer Cape for him, but they dust him immediately, and huge kill, specifically on Brax and the Queen of Pain, and Root Gaming are taking it to Summer's Rift. And Yawar is gonna have to do some heavy lifting again, as we saw in that second game. He unfortunately doesn't have that snowball potential that he had on that anti-mage. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer for him to be up and in fighting shape. And Monkey's Forever is already going to be able to maybe deal with him. He doesn't have that right click yet, but he does have that PKB, which is newly minted. And he's already up to 1,300 gold as well. And Root are starting to circle around Roshan. They're not going to go for it yet, though.
Oh, big rune for TC. Gets a regen now. Thinking about mid lane. That's the thing. Root Gaming, they can get a lot done even in little twos. Fluff leads in with a fissure. They have an easy follow-up, whether it's Moo with a blink. Mystic Flare from the back. A lot of possibilities for them to easily catch out anyone from Summer's Rift off guard. So that buddy-buddy system might have to be employed here for Summer's Rift if they're not careful and they don't have proper vision down. I'm looking over their vision now, and there's not a whole lot of it. There's some aggressive vision way over on the top lane, but that's between 2 towers. One that they didn't even take it on tier 1 yet. Mid lane, Brax is going to go in. He's going to get one with a Falcon Punch and a Mystic Flare combo. As they move in, Whitebeard, a decent death ward, but not enough. Moose brought pretty low. TC looking to scout out. Thundergod's Wrath going to help clean up. So Brax down. Whitebeard next. Root Gaming charging on forward, taking names here. They're going to get this tier 2.
They baited that so heavily. Fluff comes with a huge Echo Slam. They save the Ancient Seal again for that Witch Doctor Death Ward. They get 2 quick kills on the same 2 heroes. They take down the tier 2 tower. That was all, I think, according to plan. Moo was taking the Ancient Stack. He barely walks over at the tail end of that. He's going to probably buy a Demon Edge here in the next couple of moments, get towards an MKB. Maybe he could go for a Butterfly if he really wants to, but MKB or Daedalus, the more likely options. Root Gaming are in a position where, as long as they continue this pressure, they get a couple more tier 2 towers, Yuar is not going to be ready to fight. That's the biggest issue. He doesn't have his Manta yet, I don't believe. He's got his Yasha, it's still ways away. They might hit this timing where they won't have to deal with the Manta Phantom Lance, so they'll be able to push into the tier 3 tower here pretty soon, and Root Gaming might take this game 3 convincingly.
Looking pretty good so far. 19-12. And the biggest net worth lead of this game so far for Root. Going towards that 5k point. Greaves already done. This Tusk, very farmed up. And you can't help but feel like a bit of weight on the shoulders here for Yuar. Has his Diffusal, has a Yasha, needs a bit more meat on the bones, I like to say. Mott, though, whether it's going to be that Scotty or what, definitely needs to build up some stats so he isn't easily punished here. I mean, we saw mid lane. Brax has a BKB, can't get to use it because as the action comes so quick and in a flurry, there's really no chance to respond. So you're going to need to have the survivability and just your hit point pool to stay alive.
Yeah, he does have the BKB now, so Brax is getting ready to go. If he gets Sunlocked, it's not going to matter. Speaking of Sunlocked, Whitebeard was just literally a second of getting ganked. And I guess he thought he was safe, and he walked up a little bit and then died. That'll learn him. Monkeys Forever is going to go for the Butterfly, by the way. Picks up the Eagle Song. This is going to help his damage, his attack speed. Move speed with Flutter is nice, and the evasion most importantly. Alright, so where are we at currently? They blocked out the Ancient Stack coming for Monkeys Forever, so that's pretty important. I really think Root have a big enough advantage that they can start pushing up into towers, and I think they're going to do just that right now, Dakota.
Ain't going to be easy here. Root, though, getting the most out of this map. TC happy to just kind of navigate through the SumsRift jungle. Farms up a bit. See Summers on the southern side of the map. And maybe going to inch their way in. Sure, very antsy Mike doesn't get to be quite as proactive this game. His jump-ins need all the follow-up they can get, but that follow-up is just not ready yet. Root are in prime form to take fights, Modern. As they have shown, when they get the fight they want, they make it look so easy. So it's on SumsRift to maybe just split pressure and try to force Root to be pulled apart. Like bottom lane, Moo has to respond to that pressure. No secondary rotation yet. They're going to go for their own tier 2 in the top lane, so we'll see if SumsRift want to engage here or not. For now, just a bit of a standstill.
They don't know that SumsRift are still bottom. They see Demon, but they don't know if anyone's behind him or not. Monkeys Forever is going to go back over. He's going to defend. The top tier 2 tower is going to go down. It's going to not be glyphed. Monkeys Forever will take the last right click. That'll bring it down. They'll TP down bottom. And so instead of SumsRift TPing to defend, they kind of just let it go. They don't want to try anything too crazy. They will find Fluff, however. The Orc is going to come out. The Shuriken toss and the right click is more than enough to get the kill. Moo's walking over. Dust is going to go. He finds Demon with a beautifully timed Dust. And Ancient Seal, Arcane Bolt, they could Mystic Flare him. He is going to use his mech up and try to survive this. But TC comes in, just blows him away with a Lightning Bolt. 1-for-1 trade.
12 charges now on TC. Mike going to get caught in the first call down rocket. The second, the slow one, not going to be connecting. He's able to force staff away. Indiana Jones rolls on forward. Still Mike too far and too fast. This rocket, though, will connect. But he's already in the safety zone and away from trouble. Ends up being just that 1-for-1 trade. Support a piece here. Root Gaming still kind of flexing their fighting muscles here. Brax trying to still be a slippery one. Cuts the wave in mid and then TP's right back and towards bottom.
Definitely not as exciting of a game, and I think a lot of that has to do with Yuar just farming. And look at his kill involvement. We've had so many kills in this game. He's died once and he's been involved in 1 kill. I mean, that's what you have to do on a Phantom Lancer. You have to farm, especially if you don't get that, fast start in lane. You don't get a couple kills. You don't have an advantage with a tri-lane. So this is to be expected. I'm just surprised Root aren't putting more pressure on. I think a lot of that has to do with SumsRift really good positioning, keeping almost at least one lane pushed out at all times. And of course that is a Phantom Lancer doing most of the work, but it's a good job from the other squad mates of SumsRift as well.
Yeah.
So for Root, maybe find a smoke, maybe push out the lanes and just try to go for some sort of objective or kill. But again, easier said than done. I don't really think they should try to wait any longer. Even with the gyrocopter now having a butterfly, there's really no reason to let this go on any further than where it's already at.
It's very apparent SumsRift don't feel as comfortable taking a fight at this moment, hoping that they can just build up the farm and be a bigger factor into the late game to respond. So they'll just continue their split pressure as long as possible. But look at this Root Gaming. If they can't find the fight, maybe they can bring the fight to them.
Yeah,
they're already moving into the Roche.
They can force stuff, because every time SumsRift tries to find a force in terms of a team fight, it never really works out, because they just know there's so much to deal with. There's an Ancient Seal, there's an Echo Slam, there's a Call Down, there's Moo, saving his teammates. And Demon's gonna get caught, and maybe they might go for a Death Ward here, but look at the damage coming out already. Demon's not dead yet, the Glimmer Keep will keep him alive, but he's dead to the lightning bolt from TC.
Oh, man.
They literally walked inches in, and they just died.
That was a costly mistake. I mean, they put a sentry down. They saw an obs there. Whitebeard was attacking it. Demon just continues to move forward. I don't even think he was in Viz. So Moo just sees Demon walking in, just jumps right onto him. So they clean out both supports. Just unfortunate. Demon moving right past an obs, so he had to know they saw him. And Brax gets caught out from Fluff trying to TP away. So he's stuck on the side. Does he know he stopped that TP?
I'm not sure. I don't think they really care either way. They're looking for other targets. They're looking for more juicy targets, being IX, Mike, obviously, the Ancient Seal. But Brax is going to go toe-to-toe with Moo. Sonic Wave will fly. Moo can't use his snowball. It's on cooldown.
That was
TP
weird.
from TC. Ooh, Brax blinking up. Still has the BKB, mind you. They're going to try to juke and jive. It's just too far away. They know exactly where Brax is, but there's just I don't know if they can catch him. And even if they do, just get a BKB and just get out of there anyways. And he's just fine.
I don't know. I mean, Fluff canceled his TP, and then they just decided to go for Mike, who was a bit further away. Can't help but feel like if they put more attention onto Brax, maybe they could have got him down with the help of Shards and Snowball and Tusk being there. I don't know. Brax ends up walking away from what was a pickle to a kill. Root's still better, 23 and 14, and a net worth advantage of about 5k XP, a little bit greater. Look to Whitebeard, not looking to go down in Agnums in this big particular build-up yet. Has a chainmail, at least for now. Not sure what he's going to go for here. Mech is already purchased by Demon. Demon also looking to go for a hood, just to help with all that serious magical burst output that TC's been dishing this game.
Because Demon is building a Hood of Defiance, Whitebeard is going to go for the Medallion, and it's the Solar Crest, so that he can keep whoever tanky enough. Later on down the road, they can take Roche a bit fast. They can kill heroes a bit quicker. Medallion is almost like a core pickup in every game of Dota, regardless of what heroes you have in the game. It's just too good to pass up because it turns into Solar Crest, which is easily one of the best items in the game. So that'll be the item he's going to go for later on down the road. This does mean that he won't be going for the Agnum Scepter, and in a very rare instance on a Witch Doctor not being able to get that Ags. And a lot of that has to do with just him not farming very well, his team not farming very well, maybe not getting the track kills they wanted. This game is starting to slowly push into what we thought was going to happen. The only X factor being, I guess the only two X factors being Yawar and Brax. Brax now with his newly minted BKB might be able to do enough in these team fights. Root clearly don't want any of that, and they want to try to find a kill top into a push.
TC has double Thunder God's Wrath now. He's not part of this fight, but he's picked it up. He's back in base.
Whitebeard is in trouble.
Whitebeard eating a full Mystic Flare. He's able to get the Glimmer Cape. Tries to soak up as much damage as possible, but can't do enough. Does end up going down. He's going to be out for the count. 45 seconds. No buyback for your Witch Doctor. Monkey's Forever already breaching into the base. Yawar and Mike trying to split pressure bottom into TC. TC's able to easily clear out the wave and keep him at bay. They might have to double back and help
they're
defend.
going to have to TP back. There's no way they can push into TC. But the problem is that without TC, they have not much damage. And so Root have to be very careful with how they place. They do have the Aegis, but there's no reason to give it up for free. Monkey's Purple will push it. He clearly wants this tier 3 tower. And they might actually get it here.
Yeah, Monkeys is just going to easily go right into these creeps, pops the flak, kills those creeps.
They're not TPing back. Yawar does have one, so does Clockwork. They probably should TP and defend this because they can't push an Arc Lightning. It's not really possible.
Good position for Root, though. They're staying back. And remember, they have an Echo up their sleeve. They have Moo waiting with a blink. They're ready to engage whatever SumsRift decides to move in. But look at this Whitebeard placement. Nice little Glimmer Cape forward, gets off a pretty good coconut, forces them to Delta split here, but still gets caught a lot. Mike able to move right for Fluff, eliminating the Echo potential, and they get a wonderful Death Ward, which is going to help clean up Monkeys. Now Moo, one of the final survivors, going to be forced to go into Snowball. Monkeys forever back on his second life, pops his BKB. Tries to dish out the damage, but Moo now way deep into the territory, able to blink up south, tries to TP out, not going to go through with it. Decides to stay and wait. TC double, ulti double kill. Gonna wipe out Brax and Whitebeard. Moo shows his face again, moves to move on in. Can he get Demon here? Walrus Punch, not enough. He's gonna go down.
Look at the space creation though. Hit the buildings! Hit the buildings, Monkeys! Do not go in there. Moo is dead. You need to resign yourself to that fact. The Glyph will go. They get at least one part of what they came for, being the Ranger racks in the Tier 3 tower. And TC coming out of nowhere. He TPs in with Boots of Travel. Double ultis, which just barely came off cooldown, I believe. And, yeah, that's that. UR does luckily stay alive. Very good stuff from Root Gaming, though. And that was a great Death Ward, too. But can you imagine if that was an Aghanim Scepter Death Ward? The fight's over. Even with that Snowball, I still think the fight's over.
Bountiful.
They do lose 4 if you count. The Monkey's Aegis cost them quite a bit just to get the simple ranged racks. I'm sure SumsRift, okay. It's not ideal, but it's not game-ending at this point. When you have this PL on your side, it will continue to farm up. Starting to build up. The gains are coming in, Mott. I mean, he's got his Manta, sporting about 1,700 in the life department here. And that was also without the Echo. It was Mike who led it off there for SumsRift. Got the caught on the Fluff. Look at this. Fluff blinks into the trees here. Oh, they spot him?
Oh my god, Vision. Oh my god. Oh, they see Alm in the Frondillo. They saw the Frondillo.
They're like, what the hell? If that pet gives it away.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Can they see it?
I was looking at the vision from UR's point of view, and it showed up on my vision.
Maybe you can't see it on the enemy's. I don't know. That's tricky.
That's
I mean, maybe because we're spectators. I would imagine
it was freaking around just a second ago. Were you looking at Fluff?
That would be like Exhibit A, like why these pets are just bullshit at times. I mean, if you get caught out because your little stupid armadillo's rolling around and you're like, dude, hide in the trees, bro.
Uh-oh, Demon's in trouble. He's going to get dusted up by shards. He's got Mech. Fisher's going to come through. There's the Medallion. Glimmer Cape's going to keep him alive. There's the Coconut. BKB. Brax going to jump in. Sonic Wave on it, 2. Glimmer Cape. Death Ward going in. They get 1. Monkeys Forever standing and delivering, though. Brax call down. He's going to have to back away. Demon in trouble. Last right click. Not going to grab the kill. He's going to get out, but TC goes to work. They grab both the support as well as the offlaner. UR pops the BKB. Gets Walrus Punch. The Arc Lightning are blowing up these illusions. UR's BKB is about to end here in a second. BKBs will be down, and TC's like, it's hunted season. Let me find some freaking kills here. They pop up the veil. Brax needs to be very careful. Moo jumps in. Oh, Snowball away out of that shuriken toss. Brax top lane in trouble. Looks like it's about to fall. There's nothing UR or anybody can do here for SumsRift. In game number 3, Root looking to take a commanding 2-1 lead here, Dakota.
Certainly so. Rax now down. And, I mean, SumsRift dished out what they could to stop it. Some good work. Again, they're going to be able to eliminate Fluff before he can get any sort of Echo off, but imagine if there was an Echo. It could have been game-breaking. It could have been 2 sets of racks if he was able to get a good blink-in setup. SumsRift recognized that, and they punished, but what hopefully they're not sleeping on is the amount of damage output that TC and Monkeys are able to do now. Now that he has this Scotty done, we already know he has the Butterfly. It's ridiculous, the amount of punishment he's able to do. And though Yawar is trying to be the dark horse for his team, those illusions really just don't stand a chance to the damage spread between the both of them. So it's very difficult for PL to do anything.
God, and Brax, no!
Brax is dead. Too far from home, trying to get greedy for a rune or something. Gets caught out and killed instantly.
Excellent smoke. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good smoke. If they could force the buyback, it's even better, and that's what they're going to try for now. Roche isn't up yet. It's not going to be up for 9 seconds, actually, so it's going to be up pretty soon. But they'll do their best to force the buyback first and foremost.
Here they come. Can they force out the buyback? They're going right down mid lane, looking to knock on the door and say, hey, mind if I make this house mine now?
Oh, they went with the Echo. UR top lane gets blown away by Fluff. They might have to force 2 buybacks now.
Oh, there they are, both out at the same time, Mott. Monkeys Forever already plants his ground with his BKB, and the call down, and he's able to clear out. Not 1, but 2. Brax jumps in. Big sonic wave, but not enough to stop the machine of monkeys. He's able to just... Okay, or not. You are. Look at this. Hopping on in. Looks to pursue. Doppelganger on forward. Monkey's in trouble. The support staff from Root on the way. Fluff shows up, gets a big fissure stun, connects on both Yawar and Brax. Now
TC's
they're the
coming.
ones that could be caught behind.
TC's
Mike looking
coming.
to move on in. TC's here, and he's going right at his former Liquid teammate, Mike. Going to be glimmered up now, looking to retreat. They got the dust, though. They got the snowball. Mike is done for. Monster kill streak for TC. And they're right back at the front doorstep of SumsRift. And what could be the beginning of the end for Game 3.
There you have their 2 big cores up. Mike has his buyback. Will not have hookshot. He actually will as soon as he respawns, or if he buys back. He's actually got it now. And I don't know. Maybe they're just thinking we can't do this anymore. This Rax is gone. 2 racks down is not impossible to come back from, especially with Yawar getting as farmed as he is. But not buying back on Mike there, I'm not sure. I think they could have defended that. It's a possibility. They can't really let this Roche go. That's the most important thing. If you let this Roche go, then Gyrocopter has enough money to buy his full Satanic. In fact, he has it. They have a Satanic. They have an Aegis. I'm assuming on Monkeys Forever, he drops that Drum of Endurance that he doesn't really need. And suddenly you have a pretty impervious Monkeys Forever. This is going to be rough.
They're going in. There's not going to be much SumsRift can do about it, but maybe this is the only thing they can do in this game to stay alive. So they won't be doing it with Yawar, who's currently attending the top lane. Nope, they're going to be able to get the grab here. And that Age is going to be going, no surprise, to Monkeys, who now has a Satanic. He is nearly fully 6-slotted. Hasn't Aegis won the slots for now. Here's SumsRift looking to move in, get a quick pick here onto Fun. Glimmers up, doesn't matter. Is going to end up going down. Moo could be next, but TC is nearby, and they're not going to follow up with any additional grab, it looks like.
Fluff is going for the play. He knows his bread and butter. He knows that if they kill Yawar, this game's over.
Will we see
Oh,
it?
he's going to back away.
Oh, Yawar's already gone.
Yeah, I think he saw Yawar back up, so Fluff is going to stalk nearby. Yawar has to play this so carefully. He dies, this game's over, and I think the same can be said for Brax. Either of these heroes go down, it's over.
For now, though, here goes Fluff, still stalking here. Could run into Mike. Nope. Meanwhile, of course, it's Brax just cleaning out the wave. Back into his illusion rune. He's going to use it to head up the back side of these woods. Demon is nearby. Everyone's stalking him here. They might catch up with him. Demon's going to scout him, and Mike could follow it up with a hook. There it is. Force forward, but still gets caught.
Good
A
force.
secondary force, though, is going to get him out from those cogs. Will it get him away from trouble? Another force. This one from your Skywrath mage. Try force. Coming out in play right now. Demon gets his own frickin' force. But he's going to go under the Mystic Flare. Fissure follow-up. Monkeys Forever going to get the kill. Meanwhile, on the other side, Brax going toe-to-toe with Moo. Gets the help from Yawar now.
TC's TPing into mid, and Yawar and Brax, they want to get this kill, but they don't want to go down to TC. I don't know if they have enough damage
he's
between
there.
TC and them. Good BKB from Yawar. They actually take down Moo with it. Now they're going to
go for
defuse
TC.
TC. He's in trouble. He has 60 bloodstone charges. No deny, though. But the rest of the team coming. Here's Mike. Forces forward. There's the refresher. Sonic going. Echo Slam on the Brax. They bring him down. Yawar's low, but not dead yet. They got to get an ancient seal off. He doesn't have that BKB, but the GG comes out. They know that without Brax, this game is over, because guess who's on the doorstep? Monkeys Forever's at the tier 4. And just like that, Dakota, it's over.
What a game. Game 3 now. Back the other way. It's going to be Root Gaming who take it. Now has become a 2-1 series here. Very nicely played. What do you think, Mott? I mean, is this more of a drafting setup, an execution error? It felt like both teams got some good comfort picks. Maybe the game plan not going too well here for SumsRift. Clearly, we're struggling a bit in the early laning phase. That aggro setup that Root pulled out kept Yawar kind of at bay and forced him to go into almost desperation recovery mode, and he never really got to that pinnacle point.
I think
you can see the difference.
I think if you pick PL and you pick Bounty Hunter together,